I want to express my deepest sympathy for Janae Edmondson and her family. This is an unimaginable tragedy. As they begin the long road to recovery, our focus must remain on supporting them and bringing the individual responsible to justice. As a mother, I know all too well the depth of fear that all parents endure when their child is harmed. As a nurse, I am deeply grateful to Janae's father for his quick action, which likely saved her life, and I'm holding them in my thoughts and prayers. While the focus is and should remain on Janae Edmondson, we recognize some are seeking clarity about the defendant's past interactions with the criminal justice system. On 3 separate occasions, as recently as last month, my office requested the defendant's bond be revoked. The court either denied or ignored each of these requests. On December 12, 2021, my office asked for a bond revocation. In other words, that he be taken into custody. And that request was denied by Judge Hettenbach. On August 10, 2022, after Mr. Riley was taken into custody by court, released again on his own personal recognizance against the state's wishes. Over the following months, Mr. Riley left his home multiple times in direct violation of his bond. In spite of this, the court modified the bond, allowing him to leave home for work against the state's objections. Just last month, my office requested a hearing to address Mr. Riley's bond, including numerous violations. The court has yet to respond to that request or schedule that hearing. There has been many news reports and political attention in the last 24 hours focused on whether my office could have done even more than what we did. In other words, even more than multiple requests for Mr. Riley to be taken into custody and for the court to hear our suggestions that, at the very least, he have tighter restrictions. While it is true my office could have done more, to say we did nothing is only disingenuous, but is willfully ignorant of the reality of our court system. My office cannot force a judge to revoke bond for a defendant.
That's right.
It is particularly frustrating that the willful ignorance has empowered the ongoing harassment of the hardworking men and women in my office. Who handle cases as well as any prosecutor would have done given the court's posture. In particular, the Assistant Circuit Attorney handling this case is a tireless advocate for the people of the city of St. Louis, and I condemn in the harshest terms the hate that has been directed to her personally, including her family. Before I take a few questions, I want to end at the beginning. Our focus is on the recovery of this young woman, Janae Edmondson, and on making sure that the individual actually responsible for what happened to her is held accountable. And while I understand that politics will always play a role, my office will return to focusing on the important work that the people of the city of St. Louis elected me.
We're going
to newspaper.
Excuse me.
How can you stop the racial harassment and ethnic intimidation in your office? What plans do you have to stop these racist people from harassing you and intimidating you? And it should come from probably the federal government, but we know we have no friends in Jefferson City.
Ask the question, bro. We don't need a speech, and we're going to take a couple of 3 questions, and that's it.
What are you going to do about the racial harassment and ethnic intimidation?
Here's a question.
No, let her answer one
Hold
question at a time,
it.
please.
Hold it. We're in this right now. If you all can't be cordial and civilized, okay? One question, one person at a time, okay? Go ahead, sister.
Well, I think that's a very complex question. It's about the people of the city of St. Louis that elected me to do a job. And what we have to do is do our job fairly and justly. There are numerous attacks on our office. There are numerous individuals that have an agenda to make sure that my office does not succeed. That is not an excuse, but at the same time, we know we do not control every part of the system. But what we can control is we're going to fight very hard for justice in spite of the vitriol, the hate, the racist attacks, the known manipulation of the court procedures to make sure our office fails.
Kim, what is your reaction to the mayor? Asked the judge to revoke bond, but why doesn't the court record show one example of a motion to revoke bond?
It's the case that you must not have looked at it, because
There's not a motion to revoke bond. Why not?
First of all, we have what's called oral motions to revoke bond. Those can be made orally or written. And in this jurisdiction, they are made orally, and that is normal practice. And that was done in this case on numerous occasions.
Kim,
How
the
is
mayor
it- how is it-
has said,
how is
Kim,
it-
the mayor.
how is it-
Go ahead, bro.
How is it that the media organizations who are responsible for researching these cases before they get on the news and start spewing facts got this so wrong, since Judge Hittenbach was responsible for the bond which ultimately set the young man free who injured the young lady?
In the end of the day, we all know the facts. I want to focus on Ms. Janae Edmondson and her family, because we all can point fingers, but this young lady's life is affected by the criminal justice system right now. And we want to hold this individual accountable. But I'm not going to point blame to anybody. The buck stops with my office, and we did our job. And as I said, could we do more? We could. But did we not do nothing? That is not true.
Kim, the mayor has said that she, in her opinion, you've lost the confidence of the public. You're in this to fight it and prove that you did the right thing. Can you get the public's confidence back at this point? Did you hear that?
voted for Kim.
I think you got your answer.
I think the public answered your question, sir. Kim, can you answer that?
We answering the question for her. We here to support her, and we gonna stand behind her 100%. Let's make sure you don't need one of us to support you.
Kim, can you answer the question? What's your reaction to the mayor saying you've lost the public's confidence?
Ask the mayor why she ain't at the press conference.
Okay, brother, just chill, okay? Just chill.
First of all, I'm going to focus on the people who elected me. The people have a process if they do not no longer want me in this office, and that's called an election. And so I cannot speak for the people, and I will not address anything that the mayor said, because I think the people should speak for themselves.
And we have spoken.
What is your reaction to the...
We'll take one more question. Go
What is
ahead.
your reaction to the Attorney General's filing today against your office?
I'm here to focus on Ms. Janae Edmondson. Again, this is about her. The Attorney General, as others, used this unfortunate incident and tragic happening to this young lady as a political stunt of an unelected individual who wants to use politics to, one, stop the voice of the people in the city of St. Louis.
Right.
This is nothing more than voter suppression, which we've seen on a national level as well as in the state of Missouri.
Right.
You good?
How do you plan to address the loopholes in the justice system?
I plan to work every day to do my part to work with our criminal justice partners as we've done. And we're going to address this issue. Thank you.
Are there other...
Thank you, Al.